Good morning, kids. We're going to be talking about some of the same things we talked about last Friday about function tables and patterns and coordinate graphing. So we'll do a quick review of this. And I'm making a chart right here because I want to take this pattern and rule and starting number and extend it out. So all you have to do, and you'll do this on a whiteboard at home or at school, and hopefully you'll do it straighter than this. It's very difficult to do on here. But you'll sketch a continuation of this chart, just like so, and divide it off. And we're going to do about one more column, and that should get us started. Okay, here's all you have to do. Now, remember, this says T and U, but it's what you're used to seeing as X and Y. X and Y, okay? On the graph, this would be the x-axis and the y-axis. It can be labeled as anything, though. It can be labeled as any letter. And here they're lettering it as T and U, and that's totally fine. Okay, and down here it's T and U also. Okay, now we're going to start at 1. And remember, this is part of our graph. This first section right here is actually the first column of our graph. I'm going to go ahead and color it in so we don't forget that. Sometimes it's easy to forget that. So our first column is 1, 0. Okay. Now, going across in this row T, we have a rule. We multiply by 4. Okay. So we start with 1 and we multiply it by 4. And 1 times 4 is, of course, 4 right there. Now we take the number that we have here, which is 4, and we multiply that by 4. Every time we arrive at a new number on the graph, we multiply it by 4 on the top. 4 times 4 is 16. Now, some of this might get rather large, so use a calculator if you need to. That's okay for this. Okay, 16 times 4 is 64. Pardon my writing, but that's supposed to be 64. And then 64 times 4, I'm going to do this mentally. 6 times 4 is 24. So 60 times 4 would be 240. And 4 times 4 is 16. So that would equal 256 when I add those two together. Hopefully that's a way that you can learn to do that. Some of you already do it that way. 256. Okay. Now, on the bottom, we have a different rule. We have this, add 4. And we're starting at 0. This is row U. So 0 plus 4 is 4. Okay. And then 4 plus 4 is, remember, we add every time we go across, we add 4 more. And then this would be 12. And then finally, this would be 16. Just that easy. Whoa, I didn't do that very easily. 16 right there. Okay. Now, we need to check and see which one of these tables below matches what we're looking for. So let's go below, and we're looking for the top row. And I'm getting something on my screen. I don't know if you can see that, but it kind of interrupts me. Okay. It should say 1, 4, 16. Okay. 1, 4, 16, 64, and 256. Okay. The bottom row with U should be 0, 4, 8. 0, 4, ooh, that's 0, 4, 16. So this is not correct. I know right away A is not correct. So I can mark it out. Okay. Now I can go below that. And I'm going down to B, 0, 4, 8, 12, 16. That's not what we're looking for. So we can mark that one out too. And I keep getting these pop-ups. I don't know why. Okay. And that's not correct. And look at C, 1, 4, 16, 64, and 256. Is that what we had up at the top? It sure is. And then look at the bottom row. 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 0, 4, 8, 12, 16. Guess what? We have just found the correct answer. It's C. right there. Okay? And that's how you work that. Exactly how you work that. Now let's go to another one. This is a different kind of problem. This is where you actually plot the points, but let's do a different one first. There's one on here that we need to get a good look at, and this is it right here. Okay, I'm going to work the table the same way. I'm going to extend this out a little bit straighter this time, and then extend this out, and extend this out. And then I'm going to cut this, and this, and this, whoops, and this. And again, yours will be much neater than mine, I'm sure. Okay, now this is X and Y this time, and our rules are different. The rule for row X is add 5, starting at what? 0. Now remember, 0 is part of our first row, okay, and part of our second row also. So don't forget, this is part of our table. So we're going to start at 0 and we're going to add 5. So this would be 5. This would be 10. And this would be, of course, 15. And 20. Right there. Okay, now the bottom row says add 6. So we'll add 6 there. 6 plus 6 is 12. Every time you move over to the right, you add 6. This is 18. Make sure you don't miss any of these. These are too easy to miss. And then 18 plus 6 is 24. Now, do you see this? What we've done is we've created ordered pairs. We have an X and a Y together. The first ordered pair, the first X and Y is 0 and 0. That is our first ordered pair, 0, 0. And we can put parentheses around it. Do you see any answers that have 0, 0? I see that every single one of them does. So right now we haven't learned much, have we? Let's move on to the second set. Remember, the 5 and the 6. 5 is the X, 6 is the Y, just like X and Y in an ordered pair. 5 and 6. And do you see an answer that has 5 and 6 as the second ordered pair? I see 6, 5, 5, 5, 5, 2. You know what? This is the only one that has it. It must be correct. D must be correct. Let's double check just to make sure. It should have the ordered pair 15, 18. 15, 18. And if it does, I'll feel really good about this. There's 15, 18. Oh, did we skip one? We did skip one, didn't we? 10, 12. And 10, 12 is also in there. We actually went farther than we needed to. That's okay. The next would be 20, 24 if we went farther than that. Okay? So our answer would be D for that question. D for that one. Okay? So that's a different kind of question that you might run into. And this will probably be the last type. And we worked some of these last week too. And let's extend this chart out one more time. Try to do it as neatly as I can. It's very difficult to do with what I'm using, but glad you will bear with me here. There we go. And I'm doing it a little bit faster. Okay, now remember, this is part of our table here. The 1, 1 is the first column of our table, and it continues on. Okay, we have X and Y again, and the rule for X is multiply by 3. So 1 times 3 is 3. Now, 3 times 3 is not 6. What is it? It's 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And 27 times 3 is 81. Okay? Now, the bottom Y row has a different rule. Make sure you get that. It's multiplied by 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. And 2 times 2 is 4. Again, multiply everything by 2. 4 times 2 is 8. And 8 times 2 is 16. Now, again, these make ordered pairs. And the first ordered pair is going to be 1, 1. So when we graph these, if you see something that does not have 1, 1 on the graph, it cannot be correct. So let's double check real quick and see. Ooh, look what happened. Some of these points, I guess that's the point I made. Okay. Um, this has 1, 1. This has 1, 1. All the charts have 1, 1. All of them have 1, 1. And I'm going to erase some of these that I put because they look exactly like the points on the graph. So I don't want to make a mistake on that. Okay. There we go. Much better. I even have one more left. There we go. Just to prevent confusion. Okay. Now, the next point is 3 what? 3, 2. So let's look at 3, 2. Where would 3, 2 be? 3 over and 2 up. We don't see a point there. So that cannot be correct. 3 over and 2 up, that's good. 3, let's see this right here. 3 over and, ooh, that's not 3 over and 2 up, so it can't be that one. 3 over and 2 up has nothing there, so it can't be that one. It has to be which one? It has to be Q. All you do is look for the points that match. Q is here, click on it, and then you go to the next question. Okay? Now, your answers will be much, much neater than mine. Your work will be much neater than mine. And I'm sure that you will get the same answers you would have on these as I did. Okay? Because if you're careful and use the calculator when you absolutely have to, and you double check your work, you should do a really good job on this. I really expect to see it. Okay? All right. Your lesson for today is more function tables on Study Island. Looks just like this. Don't know if these are actually some of the questions. They may be. You might hit one occasionally that's exactly like this. Some of them aren't. But anyway, good luck. You will do fine.